Welcome to HyBiz News. My name is Suresh Kochatal. This is a GHMC election special, and over the last few weeks we have been having numerous such stories coming up on various issues concerning the city. Today we will talk about footover bridges in Hyderabad and Secunderabad. There is an old saying, we will cross the bridge when we come to it. That old adage basically means that we will tackle the problem when it comes up. Why worry now? In Hyderabad, we take that literally. Footover bridges in Hyderabad are not built for pedestrians to cross the road. In fact, pedestrians hardly use them. They still dodge the chaotic traffic, hop, skip and jump across. On its part, GHMC will argue that they did not spend any money in putting up these white elephants. They were put up by some out-of-home vendors who are allowed to recoup the cost by using the exterior for advertising. So the question is, why were these footover bridges put up in the first place? To understand that, let us look at some of these decorative items. There are several thousand accidents that occur due to pedestrians crossing the roads where there are no proper crossing marks or what we call zebra crossings. In the year 2005, a 4-year-old girl lost her life outside the St. Anne's School in Secunderabad as a DCM van hurling along the road outside the school ran over a group of kindergarten students as they were crossing the road with the help of a van driver. The van driver and a student were dragged for nearly 20 meters and the student died. The hue and cry that followed forced GHMC to construct a footover bridge near the school to enable the students to cross over to the other side of the road. But that bridge disappeared after the Hyderabad Metro came up on the same route. Now, students are forced to cross the road at their own risk, and luckily, because of the pandemic, this year, the classes have not yet started. But once it begins, the St. Anne's at Maradpalli, especially in the evenings and even in the mornings, is chaos at its best. Now let's take this footover bridge near LV Prasad Eye Hospital in Banjara Hills. It was put up with good intentions to help the patients and their escorts go to the other side of the road so that they can be safe from the traffic below. To make it user-friendly, even an escalator was installed on both sides and even an elevator. But today, the footover bridge is shut down, locked up, literally. Why? Well, according to those in the know, the bridge was used by many of those who accompany the near and dear ones for surgeries at the LV Prasad Eye Hospital to sleep over in the night. They used to sleep over on the pavements in front of the hospital. So when it rains, for example, these unfortunate souls come and sleep on the footover bridge. So, best solution, lock it up. Let the unfortunate souls now cross the road at their own risk. We are not done yet. We have the famous Film Nagar footover bridge. Don't ask me why it was built. In fact, no one knows why it was built. Not even the pedestrians who cross over from the Jubilee Hills Public School or Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan on one side to approach the road towards Apollo Hospitals in Jubilee Hills on the other side. Well, this is again a typical decorative item today that shows how misplaced priorities have brought best of the ideas to dust. Of course, there is one on the high-tech city Kukatpalli road. It's something very similar looking one, and again it's the same story. But not every footover bridge has a sad ending. In 2016, students of the Mukafamja College protested at the lack of a footover bridge on one of the busiest roads in the city, Road number 3 and Road number 2, Banjara Hills, what is called as the junction of all this. This came after several accidents on the road where there is a blind curve and fast moving traffic round the clock. A vendor, that is an out-of-home vendor, what we call the outdoor agency, put up a footover bridge, and today it is a decent usage whenever the college is open. There is an elevator for students or even the elders who cannot climb up those stairs. Very user friendly. Then there is a bridge from the Hyderabad Public School to the Women's College Begumpet, which also has decent usage during the school and college hours. Of course, it does not have an elevator. They expect students to do the climbing. Well, if there are elders, well, that's their problem. Then there's a footover bridge at Masab Tank near the NMDC. Here, it's supposed to be helping the people cross the road. And here, there are no elevators again. Only the stout-hearted will climb up the stairs, and I've seen mostly elders climbing up. And instead of crossing the road, they try their best to climb up with great deal of difficulty. Why was no elevator installed? Well, it's not an upmarket place, isn't it? It is not a Banjara Hills or a Jubilee Hills. It is Masab Tank. So, do without the elevator or even an escalator. Then there are some footover bridges which never seem to get completed, like the one in Greenlands near the CM's camp office. Don't ask me why it never got to see the light of the day till now. It's been going on for years now. There's a beautifully designed footover bridge, I was told, was designed by the students of the JNTU at the JNTU College campus in Masab Tank, just opposite onto the Mahavir Hospital site. So, there again it is built very well. It's used quite often, but again, because people don't use it and try and climb the dividers, the usage again is not much. But then GHMC is not giving up. We try to reach out to the GHMC authorities, but not everyone seems to be busy these days with the elections. GHMC is now set out to build 7 skywalks and 41 footover bridges across the city at a cost of 162 crores. Of these, 46.80 crores are to be used in Charminar and the old city to construct 11 footover bridges, and 1 skywalk is planned at Aramgarh. Sikandrabad and Khairatabad areas have been allocated about 79.40 crores to build 16 footover bridges as well as a few skywalks. Other areas in the city like Kukatpalli, Serlingapalli zones have been allotted around 65.50 crores for 11 footover bridges and skywalks, mostly at the Suchitra and Bonpalli junctions. Well, Suchitra is supposed to have a flyover from a long time, but because of misplaced priorities and being a national highway, that has never seen the light of the day. Around 8.30 lakhs have been allotted to a footover bridge at Bonpalli signal and 9.9 lakhs to be allotted one at the proposed Suchitra circle. This could soon be passé, with the Hyderabad Municipal Corporation speeding up its plans to construct more walkways, and that is going to be dotting across the city. However, a question has to be asked here. While useful in some areas, several footover bridges across the city are hardly used. This is because of 2 reasons. The first reason is that several of these bridges do not have a proper facilities. I gave you an example of the Masab Tank footover bridge. It is an area where a lot of elderly people cross the road. There should have been an elevator there, but no, there is nothing there. Though these footover bridges boast of having lifts or elevators in several places, in many places either the lift is not working or the entrance to the lift is blocked. You can see that at the LV Prasad footover bridge. This is because of negligence and lack of maintenance. Only when the footover bridges are inaugurated, you see politicians of all colors, sizes, hues, everybody lining up for the cameras, cutting the ribbon, and after that, a couple of months later, the place is dead as a dodo. Lifts are meant for use of senior citizens who cannot climb several steps as well as cannot use escalators sometimes. However, this is not happening. In many areas of the city, people cross busy roads, and that leads to death and accidents. The second reason is people refuse to use them in the first place. I mean, we have, the civic sense in our city. It's pathetic. They will cross the roads wherever they want, whenever they want, and they feel fit despite a footover bridge being there in the first place. You can see some of them in this particular video which we are running for you. While GHMC's responsibility is to build and promote the usage of these bridges, it's up to people also to use them. There is only so much that GHMC can do without people helping them to bring down the accident rates. What can the traffic police do, for example? They also are helpless, because if people don't use the footover bridges where it is available, then the fault lies with the pedestrians. So what's the solution? 1, locate the footover bridges at places where there is heavy pedestrian traffic. 2, make these footover bridges user-friendly, accessible, even for the physically challenged. And we've seen that. I don't think there's even one proper foot overbridge in the city which is kind of user friendly for the physically challenged people. No, they can get into the elevator, but getting to the elevator itself is a big challenge. 3, force the pedestrians to use them. This can be done by placing barricades across the median. It's been done at the Mukaffamja College stretch or at the NMDC in Masap Tank, but whenever there is a break in the median, people try and go through that gap. Then there is a lack of information and awareness. For example, not many people know that the Hyderabad metro stations can be used by pedestrians to cross over to the other side without entering the platform proper. But not many do it, not many know it. We need a change of culture. We need a change of attitude. We need to work together, the Greater Hyderabad Municipal Corporation and the citizens of the Twin Cities. There is no point in playing a blame game here. Hopefully, this attempt of HyBiz TV should set us all thinking. Come on, let's make our city livable. Thank you for watching HyBiz TV.